We still do 7 NUFC Matters show a week for free. But if you want to help support NUFC Matters, then there are a few ways of doing it. Hit the like button on each live broadcast and video. This helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button and select the all notifications bell so you don't miss a single show. If you want to help us financially, then you can join the channel using this button with the membership starting at $1.99 a month. Or you can drop us a donation in the chat using a super sticker. We're also looking for sponsors. If you'd like your brand advertised on the flyers for the show and featured during the ad break, then email John at nufcmatters.com to arrange today.
Attack. It feels like I've been talking to myself again, but it's the only way you're ever gonna learn. You look back and it's all in the past. I'm dwelling on the thoughts I cannot say to you. If I don't say the words, then maybe it's not true.
Good evening, welcome along to NUFC Matters with me, Steve Wraith. It is a stateside show tonight. We've got Kevin from Toon Atlanta. Good evening, Kev. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Good. Well, hot, but good afternoon from stateside. How's everybody doing out there?
Great stuff, mate. Good. I'm going to switch my cam off because I've still got internet problems this week. I just wanted to show that it was me, so my camera's going off. But yeah, listen, Kev, great to see you, mate. We suggested doing this when we knew that Newcastle were going to be touring the USA and coming to your area. And fantastic to see the photographs that you've been sharing with us on the WhatsApp group, which I'm now going to share with the NUFC Matters community tonight. But just tell us about your day. How did it go? We saw karaoke, which was a great start.
Yeah, it was actually my middle son's 8th birthday, and so last night we went bowling and went to a local pizza place, and so yeah, we're just getting a playlist ready for our little tailgate thing, and then we decided to play the Miggy Amaron song on the way back, and so I decided just to get them in the mood for it, learn them a few songs and things like that, and yeah, so we did a bit of carpool karaoke on the way home, and then I pretty much prepared for what was this morning. So, you know, typical get up at whatever o'clock in the morning, got ready, and then we pretty much made our way up to Pace Academy, which is a private school here in Atlanta, which has got an athletics facility not too far from us. And we were fortunate enough to get an invite from the club. And yeah, so as you can see in the picture, we were standing there for half an hour. It was a little over half an hour just because of from the first team, things what they had going on. We got in a little late, but standing in the, what was it at that time? 85 degrees, 90 degrees or whatever it was in that heat. So the club did provide water, they did provide things, and they kept us in communication what was going on. And we got in just after 11. So yeah, and that was my back row seat of the training pitch of what the facility was looking like, and ready for the, I think it was an 11v8, 11v9 game or something like that, what they played for 3 periods of 25 minutes or something like that, which was interesting from my perspective as a coach. Interesting to see players in certain roles and areas, who was when. I was trying to not jot down on a bit of paper, but from memory, who was where, what it potentially going to look like for the game against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, that looks a fantastic area. What's that usually used for? I mean, obviously it's got an athletics track around it. Is this standard fare in America, Kev?
Yeah, that's just a high school. It's like I said, it's a private high school, so the field might be a little bit better than others, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to get some form of these facilities. They're going to have a main stand, and then on the opposite side of the photograph, that's for the away fans for like a high school football game. Even their soccer games will be played on that. We've got 2 fields, one behind the photograph, which is like a training pitch essentially. And then they've got this main field for their main activity. Plus they've got baseball and all the rest of it. So yeah, it was a really, really nice facility.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, mate. And obviously, you're quite close to the action as well. I mean, you're a coach. You do your bit with the lads out there, your team. Yeah. I presume you were maybe picking up a few tips.
I was, and it was we didn't get to see much tactical work essentially. That was already done. Obviously, you can see in between the cellar and the Castor sign right on the halfway line. That's the media and the journalists. So Keith Downey and Craig Hope and George Culkin, I think, was there, and a couple others. Obviously, they would report on what's tactically being done. So that was pre our entry. This was like an end game. So it was like a 4-3-3 against whatever it was, 2-4-1 or whatever the other team were playing in blue. The orange were the team playing in 4-3-3. And it was just very interesting to see how Eddie Howe worked from my perspective, but more not just as a coach, but as a fan. And what he done and what the whole process was. Everybody had the role as a coaching team and things like that, which was very interesting and intriguing to watch. And it was a bit of a fun game at the end. It was competitive, very high intense, very competitive. It was all about defending free kicks and corners and attacking free kicks and attacking corners and such like. So it wasn't tactics, what we're doing, you go here, you go there. So it was just interesting to see how he worked, and it was highly entertaining.
Yeah, I can imagine. Was the full squad there, Kevin?
I believe so. We didn't that in the picture there. You got Manad and Mirdad. That's Sean Longstaff, I believe. Yeah, because I made fun of him after the fact with his white arms and stuff like that. He's got a bit of a farmer's tan going on. So I made fun of him of that after the fact. So that was Sean Longstaff, and I think a couple of others didn't fully participate. I couldn't make out if Elliot Anderson was on there, and a couple of them it looked like bit of breaking news. Jamal Lewis finished his training early. Looked like he was grabbing his left upper hamstring. So I don't know what it is from what I've seen. So, I don't know if that's what type of injury that was. As soon as I seen him sit down in his full training kit, I was thinking, and he's grabbing his hamstring, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look too good. I seen Carl Darlow and Emil Kraft warm up, do their own private workouts on a separate field away from the team. Which obviously Emil Kraft's coming back from injury, a long-term injury, and with the reports that Carl Darlow is going to be out of the club, that would make a lot of sense for him to do that, just to keep him ticking over. So yeah, it was a good insight, and I'm just trying to think of any others who were potentially not there. Yeah, not that I was close. I was right in the back row of the stand, so I was trying to get a good vantage point. So I think majority were there.
How many people were there, Kev, in general? I mean, we know that there's quite a smattering of Newcastle fans have travelled over from the region. We know a few of the higher profile ones, Darren Curry and the lads from the club. We've also got Adam Pearson out there. We've got a couple of the podcast teams are out there. So yeah, I mean, how many fans were there?
At a guess, from what I heard, was that the maxed out capacity for what the event was meant to hold. So looking in the region of 350-ish, 400, 350, 400, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Again, it was hard to tell. We were kind of spread out within the stand, but after the fact, we're trying to get signatures and photographs of players and stuff. That was a bit of the Wild West, essentially. So it got pretty busy.
Was Willock back, says Dave?
Yes, he was. But he wasn't he was on the blue team, I believe, and he played on the left-hand side of that 4, if I recall.
Okay. Obviously, some more photographs. You talked about the meet and greet at the end. We'll go through the photographs that you sent. Darren Eales. Did you have much chance to speak to Darren?
I did. I met him at the first meet and greet when we played Leeds United on that early kickoff when we had to get up at o'clock in the morning to go and watch it. And I met him and had another good chat with him. And he actually kind of remembers you, which was nice. You know, and obviously, you know, my mum who works at the club and things like that a little bit. So had a little bit of banter, a bit of crack. It was all lighthearted. And obviously, you see my three boys there. With the two Bruno Magic hats on that we were making last night, and it was more for them than, you know, to get that experience what we had back in the mid 90s, and that's what the biggest thing for me is a memory of whatever when I was a kid. That's what happened. You go there and you may not get this type of access, but the opportunity to see them train.
And you say Bruno's Magic. There's the man himself. How excited were the kids to meet the main man?
Oh, they were loving it. Actually, more so with Miggy, actually, to be fair. But you know, Bruno was great with all all kiddos, everybody, all the players. To be fair, give their time. I know they've got a lot of things going on, and you know, preparing for a game tomorrow and things like that. But with their time and you know, they've just worked hard for probably over 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours. And they still show the gratitude and the grace and towards the fans. But yeah, he was I suppose try to speak a little bit of Portuguese to him. Didn't really go down too well. He just laughed. But yeah, he was great with the boys, and the boys loved it. Alexander
Isak as well with the lads. I guess you only really get an idea of how big the guy is when you actually.
I know he's massive. He's massive. He's like a beanpole, you know. He could be stick a fur coat on him. He could be a pipe cleaner. He's that thin. No, but like when I was watching him in the training session, actually on the field, I mean, you get a different appreciation. I mean, I haven't seen the team live essentially for about 5 years, so you don't understand. You see him you get to see him every week. Or for most people, get to see him every week. Live at St James's Park or wherever in England and stuff, and I don't get to see that. But at the same time, it's the quality of his first touch, the quality of his movement, you know, and he's surprisingly tall and elegant with his movements, which I would say. But again, that picture genuinely surprised when I thought, oh wow, he's bigger than me, and I'm five, just under 6 foot, and he's massive. But that's a good thing, and it looks like he's bulked out a little bit, but he probably still has a lot of work to do on that side of it.
You also got here's you with Mia Dad, and I mean, you know, Mia Dad and Amanda both very approachable, as we know. Great to see them out there, you know, and spending time with the supporters.
Oh, absolutely. The one with Amanda there at the end, we were getting kind of ushered out, kicked out because of the players had other things that they were doing. I know it's just come out from the club that they had a game of softball, baseball type thing at the same place. So we were kind of getting ushered out, and she was just wandering around. She just went where she wanted, essentially. And I just didn't really shout. I just said, "Hey, Amanda, can I have a picture?" And it was gracious with the time. She took a picture with one of my stepdaughters. Is also earlier in that time, and going back to Mia Dad, I mean, I had again another nice conversation about whatever, just football, and just saying appreciate everything that you're doing for the club. And I said that the same to Amanda as well, and they said, look, this was great for them to see, for fans to come out and on a Tuesday morning at 90 degrees of heat watching the football team train.
Yeah, and the last photo that you sent us, this one, you did see you give him a bit of stick for having his white arms, his farmer's arms, as you called them.
Yeah, the farmers, the golfers' time, but also give him a Sharpie marker, a pen to do my little flag what I had, and he couldn't even get the pen lid off, and I made fun of him with that. He said, "Oh well, it's just because he's from North Shields, no offense, and you know whatever." And he said, "No, we can do that. We just can't read." You know, so I mean, we're having a bit of. So again, they're just genuinely good lads, they're good people. You know, you can have a bit of, you know, shoot the crap with them a little bit. You can say this, you can say that. They're not going to get upset. You know, I'm trying to think of who else. I was trying to get a hold of Dan Byrne, but he was busy doing NUFC TV stuff, and even had a little chat with Karen Wilson. And I think they're just very approachable. I'll have to get my missus to send me the picture, but she got Tonali to smile, which was quite an achievement. So I think he's getting into literally the swing of things and having and integrating within the group. So yeah, it was just again the people that, like from what Stu and Mitch said about their experience and the communication that you can have with a first team pro, it's fantastic as a fan. I could have stood and talked to them forever, but you get ushered out, you get told what to do, and get kicked out of the complex essentially. But it was just nice to talk to a player, professional footballer, but he was just a regular lad from North Shields, and it was fantastic.
Darren's in the chat from the fans forum. He says, "All right, Kevin, it's great to see you boys have loved the day," which is very, very nice. Dave asks, Kev, have you picked up things that you will use in your coaching role today?
I would start using a whistle, not shouting all the time. That's one thing Eddie Howe uses very well, especially in the game today. What was planned out, it was, like I said, it was 4-3-3 versus like a 10-9 or a 10-man team. And every time the whistle blew, it was a free kick, dead ball, or, you let it's called coaching in the flow, where you would just let the game play and see what happens. They would defend a goal. One team would defend a corner, then it would go down to the other side of the field. The other team would defend the corner, the same routine. Or then the ball would be cleared, then there'll be a free kick in play, but there would always be a whistle used. But then he would talk. He wouldn't just scream, stop, freeze, whatever, to save his voice. So, I picked up that. That was a little quirky trait that he has. And so, I picked up a couple of things. Obviously, couldn't hear a lot what was said based on where I was sitting, but just the overall intensity of it. He wasn't fully energetic, I would say, but I think the players knew every time they go across that white line, if it's a practice training or it's a game, then you got to work hard. You got to empty yourself, as he says. So that was interesting, and they all knew where to go. They all knew Tyndall was there doing his bit, and other staff making sure everything was right, and things like that. Yeah, so I picked up a couple of tidbits.
Great stuff. Just in an answer to David McLeod's question, yes, Shaka Hislop put a post out on Instagram today. He is recovering. So great to hear that our former goalkeeper is on the mend after his untimely collapse in front of the TV cameras at Newcastle's last game. So great to hear. Blue Rhythm Boy says, did Howe have any nicknames for players, Kev?
I couldn't hear any. I know Sean Longstaff was Longy and stuff like that. I heard that, but I just shouted Long and he responded. So obviously that must be that. So no, I couldn't hear any, to be perfectly fair. I couldn't say yes or no either way.
Ian, you haven't missed a great deal, Ian, and it's my fault. I did advertise the show for 8, but I was conscious of the fact that Kev's been driving as well as standing out in 85 degrees heat, and that he might want to get on earlier, because we only planned this in case he was running late, but he did do well. You enjoyed it. Just give a quick recap on just for Ian. You enjoyed the training session, didn't you, Kev?
I did. The soccer training was awesome, but I went to see a football training. You have to watch the previous show to understand that comment. If you haven't watched it, give it a watch from last night. Just a recap for Ian, it was about 350 people there, 400 people or so. From all factions of the fan base over here in the United States, some local, some English, some people from New York, wherever. And basically it was a game, an end game. There was no tactics seen or anything like that. There was nothing in terms of defensive structure, defensive shape, attacking structures and things like that. That was all pre-done before we got in. And it was a great experience.
My mistake. Yeah, sorry, Tom. I got carried away. It wasn't the Newcastle game. It was, of course, the Milan versus Real Madrid in Los Angeles. But yeah, we wish him all the best. We hope he recovers. There has been lots of things going on in the news, Newcastle United related. I think the big one today, Kev, has been the announcement, the eventual announcement of the membership. The belatedly published the details. It goes on sale at 10 o'clock tomorrow, which is the 26th of July. Prices are £37 for adults, £20 for under 18s. Those holding memberships previously have got to reapply. There's no renewal option for people who were members in 22, 23. previously announced existing season ticket holders are no longer automatically designated as members. They now have to sign up and pay separately in order to access those benefits. And a newly created additional membership category for international fans, which will concern, Kev and Al-Walid and, who are on this platform. This international section has been set up, and that will be available to purchase as well. Home ticket purchases are via a ballot with one per person, while there's also reference to ticket opportunities via an unlaunched home. There was no reference today to any away ticket purchasing opportunities. So ultimately, it's there, it's announced. The reaction, as always, on Twitter, I'll give you my view. I personally think that this is the right thing to do. I think maybe they could have learned from, other clubs, Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, some of the clubs that have been the so-called top six for years. Maybe looked at their systems and looked at how those about and integrated. I do think that, a season ticket holder is a season ticket holder, and a membership holder should be a membership holder. I think this will more or less give an opportunity for those people who have never had a chance to get a ticket. I just think it could have been done so differently. I think the thing with the season tickets, I think, yes, bring digital ticketing in, but what they should have done was this season, keep the hard copy of the season ticket and release the digital one. That way there wouldn't be as many people up in arms complaining, and gradually just bring that in. By season 24-25, we're fully digital. That way we can iron out any problems as we're moving along and bringing the digital system in. But with memberships, I personally don't think there's any benefit if you're a season ticket holder to sign up. So that means that ultimately, as a season ticket holder, I can go and apply for my tickets now, which I have done. Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, I've already applied for them. And I now know that when there's a ticket game, I'm going to get mine. This now means that more people can become members, and then they'll go into a ballot to get tickets. So more people will get the opportunity to come to Newcastle United games. Now, the away ticket one, the international ticket one, we've got Al-Walid in our WhatsApp group, as you know, Kevin. And Kevin, he did put a thing in the group, didn't he? A little bit earlier about the international version. What's your take on what the international membership offers? Is it value for money? Is it the good bits and bad bits? Al-Walid wasn't impressed.
To be honest, I've been that busy driving myself, and
you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, no, mate. So I can't comment.
Adult international membership, digital membership card. This is what you get for your money. Digital membership card. Access to a minimum of 2 digital events with club legends, first team players, subject to availability. Access to home match tickets. Terms and conditions apply. 25% stadium tours. Access to exclusive competitions. Opportunity to vote in International Supporters Player of the Year award. Access to streaming where available. That's it.
And how much was that for? I think
it's the same. I think it's the same price.
Same price.
37 £37, but that's the international version.
I mean,
does that float your boat?
Not really, because the access to the home matches with caveats ripped around it, that'll not be category A or B or any other game. That'll be a wet Wednesday night at St James's Park type of deal. That's what that is to me. It'll be the category C game or lower, or a cup game at home. However, they decide the terms and conditions are, whatever they decide to put out there. But that doesn't, like my candle. Thankfully, I've got 2 season tickets still. They're not in my name; they're in my mom's name. But so I can again find ways around this membership scheme. But I don't. That doesn't. If I was a non-season ticket holder living here, wanting to get to just a game, yes, you get the 25% stadium tours, you get the digital you'll get a card, you'll get options to do the online meet and greets and stuff like that, or whatever that looks like. But they could have, again, I just want to go to a game. I don't want the fluff. I want to go to a game. So if you, again, with the original membership, a non-international one, you get this, you get more. I would want the same thing. If I'm paying the same money, I would want the same thing. Yes, I'm coming from an international part of, or different part of the world, but I would want the same thing as a member. I would rather just have it as a membership and open it up. Yes, it'll be international. Yes, all that, get it. However, and be happy to go into a ballot. If I don't get a ticket, then I know I can then rearrange flights. I can rearrange a lot of things. But I think it's not. It wouldn't be worth my, well, whatever that would be, $45 for it. So no, I would rather have the full membership scheme rather than an international one, because it seems like I've been honest. If you want to do the stadium tour, they're not that expensive. So because you're spending all that money anyway, the main thing you're going over there for is, yes, you can see the stadium, but the main thing is you're going to the game. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that. But again, going back to the original thing, it's at least they've done something, they put something out there. And I totally agree with the way you described it for the season tickets this year. Have a hard copy, but yes, gradually do digital. Again, the integration of both over time, rather than one or the other. That's what we have here. I can print out my Ticketmaster tickets for the game tomorrow, and I can still have it on my phone. I can get in various different ways on different things. I can have a season ticket card if I was a Man United season ticket holder. I can have that, or I can have it on my phone. So that's how to do it here. So I don't understand why, again, we're trying to go into this digital age of why we can't do that and have like a season ticket card, what we have now, and have some form of technology in there, and a digital copy. If you want a digital, that's fine. If you want your hard copy, hey, have the hard copy. So I think they're not, again, as we know, they're not listening to all opinions and they're going down just a one-way street and sticking to it, and they can't get themselves out of it. And they've had to go this way to appease others and certain factions of the fan base.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure we'll be discussing this on maybe Geordie's here. Geordie's there tomorrow night, and probably on Amigos on Friday. And I know people in the chat don't like us getting bogged down with ticket stuff, but unfortunately, it is part and parcel of being a fan. And if it's something which people aren't happy about, I am getting quite a few inboxes from people, which I'll go through, and maybe we'll bring that to the tail show tomorrow night. Ian Toon Trader says, I'm completely selfishly, I'm gutted that me and Tommy will not possibly be able to see as many games as we did last season, as we missed out on 2 home games last season. Hopefully I can renew and hopefully get to a decent amount of games this season as I have away games this season, as I have for years, amount of games this season, as I have for years on my membership. I mean, it doesn't look like you can renew. It's not renewable, which is quite strange. You can't renew yet. You have to apply. So you're starting from dot tomorrow when it opens at 10 o'clock. So it's going to be potluck. I'm afraid. Jules, good evening. Base, but no point in me trying for membership. What if my partner was successful in the ballot, but I wasn't? Good luck to those applying if it works out for you. I still think it might be worth going for, Jules. You never know. I guess you cross that bridge when you come to it, but I wouldn't not apply for it. £37, it's worth it if you get a couple of games or 3 or 4 games and you're together. Might be worth doing. Have a think about it. JB says, I've got a feeling a small number of tickets will be set aside for foreign fans, maybe an official USA club run supporters club. I mean, there has been stuff come out potentially about, certain supporters clubs benefiting from you run a supporters club abroad, and you've got that and you watch the show. Let us know, Jules. If you link your accounts, they give you 1, give you 2 or none, says Mozza. So there you are. Get yourself in, Jules. Get a membership if you can. Had membership for years. Last season I couldn't get one. Hopefully I'm successful this year. My fault for not getting a season ticket in the first place. Yeah, but a lot of people, sometimes you can't afford a Blue Rhythm boys. Sometimes things happen with some people walked away because of the owner, the previous one happens. So, but yeah, a lot of people giving Jules a little bit of a tip. You link up so either you or both can get tickets or neither. And Mozza says, yes, we're in the same boat, but I rang the box because obviously they confirmed we'd both get one as long as accounts are linked. which they are. And Jules says, I'm happy to be in the city, soaking up the atmosphere. We just love to make a break of it in the Toon. We're halfway through the show. It is time for the ads. Big thanks to all our sponsors. Skips and Bins, telephone 0800 25 45 25 3. Email inquiries at skipsandbins.com. Website skipsandbins.com. Easy contract free and pay-as-you-go waste collection. Thanks also to Mr. Vicky's Sauces, handmade in Cumbria. If you want to order some, then you can go to their website, mrvickies.co.uk, or telephone 01768 210 102. Thanks also to New Workwear. They were set up in 2018 and they are an agile and dedicated workwear provider. You can find them at their website, newworkwear.com. Thanks to Media Arts as well for all the help with the video side of things. If you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button under this video. Hit the thumb up to like the video and click share to share to your other social media. We're also available as a podcast on your podcast providers such as iTunes and Spotify. If you'd like to take out a cult membership, which means you get a cup, a pen, a membership card, a scarf, and entry into the monthly draw, then put your smartphone over this QR code now. It'll take you straight to the site. You can set up and pay a one-off fee of £25. Alternatively, go to nufcmatters.com and check for membership. If you're a subscriber, you can apply for a free car sticker. Just email john@nufcmatters.com to claim yours today. The new Shearer raffle is up and running. 150 tickets, £1 a ticket to win a limited edition Alan Shearer signed ball. Enter now at nufcmatters.com. We've got a couple of events coming up. Newcastle United question and answer live with Liam Kennedy, Jordan Cronin and Dominic Skerr from Newcastle World and the Shields Gazette in association with NUFC Matters. Takes place at the Tyneside Irish Centre, 11th of August at 7 p.m. and tickets are £5. The Christmas event will be with Frank Clark and John Gibson, Thursday, December the 7th at the Tyneside Irish Centre. Tickets are £15 from nufcmatters.com. And Waddle, Keegan and Beardsley, the class of 84 with special guests, takes place at the Tyne Theatre and Opera House on Westcott Road in Newcastle on Thursday, January the 25th. Tickets are available direct from the theatre, 0844 24 91 000, or go to the website for further details. And don't forget, starting on the 7th of August, you will be able to hear myself, Steve Wraith, on the Northeast Footy Breakfast. This comes to you in association with the Toon Radio, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, 5 days a week. Check out the Facebook for more details. Yeah, believe it or boy, it's all down to circumstances, but you never know. Get a membership, you might just have an opportunity to get a ticket. Maybe the club will allow friends and family to go in the ballot as one to guarantee seats together. JJ says, I'm all right in saying season ticket holders do not get automatic membership from this year. That's correct. Kevin says, Steve, by the time St. Maxi is announced, they'll need 2 pre-seasons. It's taken that long. Yeah, it does seem to be taking quite a while. Is this needed for a house higher chance of getting Champions League tickets, even though I'm a season ticket holder? I'm registered for all cup tickets too. No, you don't need to take a membership out if you're a season ticket holder. Can't wait to see the plans for the fan zone. Yeah, that nothing imminent on that, I don't think. And Mozza says there's a new question section on the website. There's a 24-hour window to apply once game tickets are announced. You can leave your card details. If you get tickets, they take the dosh and they email a ticket. And Julie says, I always thought radio, Steve, which is very kind of you. Some of the fans footage from the States brings a tear to my eye, and there's been some great footage. We've got a bit of video footage that Kev sent us as well. We'll just put this on now.
There she is.
Great stuff, Kev. Thanks for getting the photos and capturing that kind of stuff. You can just feel the atmosphere there from it. But let's start looking and turning our attention towards the game. Newcastle United, of course, played Chelsea in the summer series of friendlies this Wednesday in the city of Atlanta. And, it's great. There's a connection there already between the clubs, the George and Geordie connections, or Miguel Almiron, of course, who is Darren Eales. You both swapped Atlanta for Newcastle United. The kickoff is 8:15 local time, which will be 1:15 a.m. in the UK on Thursday morning. It is televised live on Sky Sports. The game takes place at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is the home of MLS side Atlanta United. So this follows the game between Brentford 5:30 kickoff. Tell us about the stadium. What are Newcastle and Newcastle's fans going to be walking into?
An inside one, so they'll be nice and cool. But they've got it's like a bird's nest. It's like the roof can twist and open up at certain times of the year, which will not be the case tomorrow. Even though it's an 8:15 kickoff, it'll still be closed. It's a turf field. It's a national turf field, 3G, 4G, whatever it is, but it's one of the better ones around. But if those who are going to the game or even going to see it, it's one of the more modern stadiums. So you've got the Mercedes-Benz here in Atlanta, you've got SoFi Stadium out there in California, and others. The one in Dallas, AT&T Stadium, I think it's called, where the Dallas Cowboys play. They're all modernized. It's over 3 levels. I don't think the 3rd level is going to be open. It might be. I've just got confirmation from my son here that it is going to be open. So there should be hopefully about 50, 60, 70,000 people in there. And again, it was a revolutionary type of stadium with the screen. It's a big circular screen on the top. So it's a different level to like a St. James's Park or an Anfield or any English ground out there. I love the stadium. I'm a bit of a stadium buff. There's certain sections for certain fans where you go. It's very well priced for concessions for food. So I'm taking 5 kids, my wife and my mother tomorrow. So it could be a quite expensive day. But it actually it won't be based on the fact that it would go where we know to go to get food. I can get a hot dog for $2.50 and get a bit of pizza for $3. If you want to go a little bit higher end, then you can, you pay what you can afford essentially. So it's very fan driven for cost. Unfortunately, the parking's a bit of a nightmare. That's the most expensive thing out. That's more than the ticket, just based on where I've decided to park, based on having a family and things like that. And so that's $68. That's $70 total, near enough, for where we've decided to park. But that's right beside the stadium. So it's like parking a Strawberry Place where I've decided to park. So it's easy access to get to the stadium with a lot of people and out of the stadium after the game. And it's, it's a fabulous stadium to watch any sporting event in. So yeah, they should be in for a treat.
That's fantastic, mate. Really, really looks state of the art. You know what I mean? The fact that it's indoors as well is amazing. I mean, I think the temperatures in Atlanta are up to 37 degrees. They say the weather forecast that I've looked at says it's going to drop to around 30 degrees by the time Newcastle's are in action against Chelsea. But it's forecast to be hotter than in New Jersey, which for Friday's game. Fantastic to see the effort though that the Toon Army Atlanta have gone to welcome fans and obviously putting on several events and Wednesday sees a meetup from 2:00 in Meehan's Public House downtown, doesn't it? And then Wednesday that's sorry to cut you off. That's a separate one because the club it's called the Brew House Cafe near downtown. The one with our branch, if you will, to Atlanta is going to be 400 people. So the Meehan's one, which is downtown, that's a separate meeting. It's a separate meetup because that's the only bar in downtown, which is relatively close to the stadium that doesn't have a Premier League club attached to it, if you will. So that they just contacted them and said, yeah, because the people who organized that were not able or didn't get the invite to the official meet and greet. So the official meet and greet is going to be 400 people. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. That's a long day for me and my kids and things like that. So we're
we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to go full American. I've got a big tent. I think I showed you some pictures in the WhatsApp group or whatever. So with flags, and war flags have been generous enough to make some Tonali Atlanta flags for us. And so I'm just going to put them on the tent. There's going to be music playing. There's going to be coolers. There's going to be food just on the back of my car. And whoever comes along, and things like that. And we'll have a good time. But the one at the brew house is the main one with Shola and Shea Given. Tomorrow. But there's another get together tonight at the same bar. So we're doing there's a lot of things happening over the next 48 hours where you can get with a bunch of like-minded Newcastle United fans, or have a pint with and chew the fat over Newcastle United in a different country or whatever it is, or from a different part of this country. So it's been great to see, and we should get some more stories coming out of it. And I'm sure I'll see some stuff online and send them on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, and send them on to you. From the both Meehan and the Brewhouse one, and plus the club will be there, and I'm sure the Amazon documentary will be there. Premier League Live will probably be there. NBC Sports might be there. Who knows? But I think the media, especially over here, are latching on to us as a fan group, because they know that will show up, and will show up in numbers. So yeah, it's quite an exciting time.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic, Kev. It's just great to see the American, fans, whether it's Geordie expats like yourself, or whether it's American fans in general who decided to support the black and white cause. It's just great to see the effort they're going. This tailgating situation seems to be getting everybody excited over here. People laughing at people, Newcastle fans having a go at it, etc. Explain what that is.
But basically, you show up to a car park. You can show with coolers, with beers, drinks, crisps, whatever you want. You can even show up with a backyard grill if you want. And just whack it all out your car, set it up, get your lawn chairs out, and make it like your back garden, and just have a get together as a fan base. And they do this. It's a massive thing in the NFL, and a lot of other sports. Atlanta United do it. It's more of American based, so it just gets people together in one place versus a bar here or a bar there. So it's like a fan zone, but not. But so it's an American version of a fan zone. I'm going to take a football around and have a kickabout with my kids and whoever else decides to have a good, wants to do that. So it's like an American family would take an American football and throw it around, or a baseball or whatever. So it's just putting that into the Newcastle United realm, if you will. So we're going to be there for 4 hours or so, because we get access to the 2 games tomorrow. The Brentford Brighton game in hours, we get access to those. So we might get in a little bit before the end of that, not sit out in the sun for too long. But yeah, we're just trying to bring a bit of Americanisms, if you will, into those who might not have seen that before, or give another option because of this where the stadium's situated. It's not it's easy to get to, but there's not many places you can tailgate, or there's bars, there's restaurants and things like that, but it's not really like a typical Newcastle, if you will, or Manchester, things like that, where it's easy accessible to walk there. It's get there in one place, we'll all go up there together type of thing.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. And that's the stadium there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's the stadium, yeah. And the Newcastle United section is going to be in the far left of the picture, and the red seats on the lower section. We have 2 sections there. Unfortunately, the Chelsea lot have got the 3 where you see on the bottom right-hand side with the 3 red little dashes there. That's where they're going to be. So we're at opposite ends of the pitch, and guarantee we'll be probably louder than them, because it looks like we've got far more of a following, of course, than the Chelsea bunch, who are going to be inside the stadium. From what it looks like, what I'm seeing and reading from our side.
During the break, you did send us this photo.
Yep. That's my wife. With and she calls them.
Smile.
But she calls them tortellini. So that's just another thing. But yeah, somehow got him to smile a little bit there. We didn't know what's going on. So I thought I'd better pass that on, because people don't believe us, and I'll get shot down a little bit.
Yeah. Back. Did you get your pen back, Kev?
But did I? Well, we took 9 pens with us, so we had plenty.
Okay, we have got a couple of questions that have come in. Blue Rhythm Boy said, "Can you see? I can see that Kev's got the green kit on. Is that your favourite kit of the 3, Kev?"
No.
Not really. No, I like the new one. I like the 3rd one, which I haven't had the pleasure of getting in my hands yet. This is my mom works at the stadium. She just went down on a lunch break and bought this one, because I like the black and white, don't get me wrong, I'm a traditionalist. However, I'm an away jersey top type of guy. I like the 3rd. I like the different. As you can see, this is very different from probably somebody else's who's got the same one. Yeah. So I like the different. I like Mitch, essentially. I'm not a connoisseur of jerseys and tops and things, but I like different types of apparel and different looks and things like that. But don't get me wrong, I like the home strip, but the away one and the 3rd one, I'll probably will get the 3rd one at some point, but I haven't got my eyes on it properly yet. So, but the 3rd one's probably my favorite, then this, and then the black and white.
Blue Rhythm Boy says, "A guy from Tyneside Life seems to be access all areas. Did you approach the club, Kev, or could any fan have got to meet the players?"
Well, how it worked, it was a interesting one. We all had to go into like a ballot system. And we got a sort of an explanation from one of the members of staff who deal with that. So I had to do email, put in an application to sort of say, can I get they were free, so it wasn't any cost to me. It was just the time to do it. So I had to do, obviously, myself, my mother, and my wife have obviously got personal emails for work and things like that. So we were fine. But the other 5 kids, we had to set up pretty much an email account for them to get into to get access to this event. And we found out today that it's basically metrics and IP addresses to sort of say where people are coming from, to give them us essentially, like local who live in Atlanta or whatever, or the United States, to give them the option to come and see them based on IP addresses, based on your Google account, and they can track that through their system. So it was an interesting thing. But yeah, once the training was over, I think the boys went inside to obviously cool down, refreshments and things like that, or whatever, take the boots off and all do whatever they had to do. And then we were told to go around the back. And this is really the only disappointing thing of the day. Being Newcastle United, there would have to be a negative. We were told that we would just all line up and beside a fence and whatever, and all the players will go along each individual person or group. And that didn't occur. We got cattle, like pretty much like a bunch of cattle, shifted around to the back where the players were standing, but there was no real organization where players were, where to go, and things of that nature. So that was the only disappointment of it. I understand it was, sweltering heat. Yes, I find they just done a training session. Understand, not a problem. However, can we have a bit better organization? Hey, line up here if you want this player. Line up here if you want this player, or however, a bit more easier to get access. It wasn't difficult to get access. It was how it was done, because we could just walk around. I mean, we've made our way down to the exit, and my wife and her stepdaughters just walked backwards, back behind us all, and she had no queue, she had no issue, she had no nothing. It was nobody there, because she got with Jason Tyndall and Kieran Trippier and Tonali and things like that. It was not as crazy to get there as quickly as possible to get that autograph, to get that picture, whatever it was. So from that side of it, it was unorganized, but it was great. The players were, open enough for an autograph or whatever picture. They were fine. That wasn't the problem. There's obviously security staff there and things like that who look after the players, and not that it would get out of hand, but just to keep crowd control down to a minute as easy as possible. But yeah, then I can't remember who it was, a member of staff decided to say, "Oh, the players are leaving in 10 minutes or 5 minutes." And next thing it was, then it was 10 minutes. And then next thing we know, we kind of got ushered out slowly, and we're trying to get as many as we can quickly, try to dilly-dally and things like that. So again, just from that organizational standpoint, knowing that they knew how many were coming, they could have figured out how to get that part right. But yeah, overall, the access was pretty fine, easy. We were never stopped to go and approach whoever. Some had media responsibilities, some had this, and you see him walking over a TV camera. He said, "Okay, he's got a media responsibility, so I'm not going to bother him. That's his job. He's got that to do. He's probably had millions of other autographs that he's just been signing." I mean, when I walked up to me, Dad, he was just wandering around. Looked like one of us, and then I just not literally grabbed him, but I just said, "Hey, me, Dad, could I have a picture?" He went, "Oh yeah, absolutely." It was fine, So they were quite approachable. It was just again how it was kind of done, which is like a common theme, it seems.
Yeah. Mark Bayer said they had a ballot to see who'd enter into the ballot, and prior to that, a ballot to see who'd be in the ballot, to be in the ballot for the main ballot to meet the players. Jonathan Shaw brings it back to reality. He says, "Evening, Kevin and Steve. I'm behind on the feed, but I wanted to ask how Tonali looked in training and how he interacted with the team. I really hope he is settling in."
He looked pretty good, technically very good. I think he's going to be what we saw Bruno essentially last year, working in that triangle with Miggy a lot. That's what it looked like. That little 1-2 ball in behind, like the Sean Longstaff run would do when he scored a couple. But it looked like he's integrated really well. I think Bruno and Joe Linton have took him under his wing a little bit. I know they were at the Georgia Aquarium downtown yesterday, and you've seen a couple of pictures on social media and things like that. So I think they've kind of took it upon themselves to make him feel as part of the group. But he looked really good today, and trying to connect with Miggy and trying to connect with Bruno and the Isaac on that right side of the three.
Okay, Peter just mentioned if you're successful in a membership ballot for match tickets, you should be removed from a ballot for a month to give more people a chance. It's a good idea, Peter. Those kind of things should be suggested to the club, ask Kevin if the says JB.
Pretty much that's how we got most of our US Atlanta fan base a part of Newcastle United, because of him. I think Mitch said it, Al Walid said it, some fans just follow players. Not that they'll stop supporting Atlanta United, but when Miggy was a star here. And so once he moved to Newcastle United, obviously they went, "Oh, who's Newcastle United?" So that gained traction. So there's a lot of players in it, like tomorrow night you'll see. Well, I'm sure you will play based on that. It's his ex-stadium, if you will. And there'll be a lot of support for him out here. So yeah, they'll be supporting him. I'm sure you.
Last two questions. Blue Rhythm Boy says, was there any sign of Tonali taking set pieces?
No, none. No, Kieran Trippier for the most part. If he did take one, I might not see him. I might have missed that.
Okay. Was the traditional back four playing together in one of the teams?
Maybe, yeah. I'll write down who was in that 4-3. I wrote it down. I'll let you know. Yeah, but the back four was back in play essentially.
Good stuff. Mark says, question for Kev, the area around the stadium like late at night. Someone I work with told me it's not so nice. Mark, of course, lives in America as well. Wondering because walking back to the hotel with my daughter.
Yes, sad to say it's not the best downtown in the world, like any major city. What I would recommend is get together with a group. Go with a group. Don't be by yourself with a child. That's why I said I park closer to the ground. It's lit. It's easy to get to. If you're a little away from downtown, depends on the walk, depends on where you've got to go. maybe get an Uber, maybe get a Lyft or something like that, a ride share, or something like that, or walk with a bigger group of people down where you need to go into downtown Atlanta to get to your hotel. Unfortunately, I have to say that.
Yeah. Okay. Last question isn't Newcastle related. Blue Rhythm Boys. Kev, do you think Kane's going to leave Spurs this in UFC, but of interest given Shearer's record? Lots of talk about this, and there was a football director from Spurs that apparently mentioned this, and it broke on Sky Sports News yesterday that they've got to sell Kane in this window. I
think he will. I don't know where that comes from, but I just think he will. I think he wants not another challenge, but to win something, to his efforts not to go by the wayside. Like he's done it year after year for Tottenham. Look, he's a brilliant footballer, but at the same time, he's scoring goals for fun and not getting any real reward for it. But like a top goal scorer of the year, that's it in the Premier League. He wants more than that. So I think he could. I think his head could be turned from if it's a Bayern Munich, I assume. So I think he might be. I think it might take some time, but I think he could be heading out of the Tottenham training ground soon.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting pre-season, but also going to be an interesting transfer window. So apologies on my side. I'm working away at the moment, and unfortunately, internet isn't great where I am. All should be better when I do eventually return. But a great show, says Jules. Just want to thank you, Kev, because and everybody in the chat does. Cheers, Kev. Great insight, mate. Everybody is really thankful that you took the time to do that after a really, really busy day, Kev. Look forward to seeing you on the show tomorrow night on Geordie's here, Geordie there at 6 o'clock. But for now, Kev, take care, mate. Thanks for coming on.
See you later, mate. Cheers. Bye.